400 years ago this year, the Mayflower sailed across the ocean headed towards what they thought would be the Virginia colony under the jurisdiction of the King of England. Weather and other things happened, and they ended up higher up along the coastline than they thought. And after trying to sail down the coastline, they decided that that wasn't safe, and they ended up anchoring in Cape Cod. Outside of the area covered by England, some wondered if they were still under obligation to obey English laws and the laws of the Charter. These discussions led to the creation of the Mayflower Compact, and this year we celebrate 400 years since the Mayflower Compact was written. William Bradford, a signer of the Mayflower Compact, wrote about it later in this way. He said, "First, I will turn back a little and begin with a compact or deed drawn up by them before they went ashore to settle, constituting the first foundation of their government. This was occasioned partly by the discontented and mutinous speeches that some of the strangers amongst them had let fall, that when they got ashore they would use their liberty, that none had power to command them, the patent procured being for Virginia and not for New England, which belonged to another company, with which the Virginia company had nothing to do. And further, it was believed by the leading men among the settlers that such a deed, drawn up by themselves, considering their present condition, would be as effective as any patent, and in some respects more so." Edward Winslow, also a signer of the Mayflower Compact, described it this way: "This day, before we came to harbor, observing some not well affected to unity and concord, but gave some appearance of faction, it was thought good there should be an association and agreement, that we should combine together in one body, and to submit to such government and governors as we should by common consent agree to make and choose, and set our hands to this that follows, word for word." And then he gives the text of the Mayflower Compact. Why is this significant? And why am I bringing it up? And why do I think we should celebrate this 400th year anniversary of the Mayflower Compact? Well, because I believe the Mayflower Compact set the stage and the standard for the representative government that followed on this continent. It shows an allegiance to a representative government. Each family had a representative in the civil body politic that they created, and each of those representatives got a vote. And each of them had a responsibility, along with that vote, to follow the laws that were made. This foundation of representative government, of law, of democracy, of self-government, laid the foundation of what the next few hundred years would look like leading up to the Revolutionary War. It influenced the way the colonies interacted within themselves. They didn't wait for England to solve their problems. They, through their representative governments, created good laws for the people of the land and practiced self-government right from the beginning of this colony. This Mayflower Compact is the beginning of those type of documents that set in place the constitutions and laws for which the people owe allegiance to and agree to obey the laws therein. Here's the language of the original Mayflower Compact. "In the name of God, amen. We, whose names are underwritten, the loyal subjects of our dread sovereign Lord King James, by the grace of God, of Great Britain, France, and Ireland, King, Defender of the Faith, etc., having undertaken for the glory of God and advancement of the Christian faith and honor of our King and country, a voyage to plant the first colony in the northern parts of Virginia, do, by these presents solemnly and mutually in the presence of God and of one another, covenant and combine ourselves into a civil body politic, for our better ordering and preservation, and the furtherance of the ends aforesaid, and by virtue hereof, to enact, constitute, and frame such just and equal laws, ordinances, acts, constitutions, and offices, from time to time, as shall be thought most meet and convenient for the general use of the colony, unto which we promise all due submission and obedience. In witness whereof we have here underscribed our names at Cape Cod, the 11th of November, in the year of the reign of our sovereign Lord, King James of England, France, and Ireland, the 18th, and of Scotland, the 54th, Anno Domini 1620. Listen to that language. Covenant and combine ourselves together. Just and equal laws, acts, constitutions, and ordinances. And the promise of all due submission and obedience. Apparently, this was enough for everyone on the Mayflower to stick together. For that, they did. They came into land, stuck together, created a colony together, and they needed to. I mean, they had some hard times that they needed to have the support of each other. But apparently this helped eliminate the disagreements between factions, because each faction felt like they had a voice in government, a voice in the laws that they would be called upon to obey. And the legacy they left? It's best summed up by William Bradford himself. He said, "Thus out of small beginnings, greater things have been produced by his hand that made all things of nothing, and gives being to all things that are. And as one small candle may light 1,000, so the light here kindled hath shone unto many, yea, in some sort, to our whole nation." And as a person who is trying to help parents inspire an environment of learning in their home, I invite you all to study it out for yourself, to study the original documents that existed in that time period and see what you think about the people that came and settled. On my website, I have a packet of Thanksgiving original documents that I invite you to go download. I'll put the link in the description box below, and you can click over there and get that document, which includes the Mayflower Compact and also some Thanksgiving proclamations that you guys can study together. Thanks for watching. Here's to you and all your endeavors to inspire an environment of learning in your home. You've got this.